What's going on, YouTube? It's Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. It's another episode of the C9FanCast. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? And just for the record, we spent about 15 minutes trying to record this. So this is definitely the funniest part because we were talking about, like, I don't even know, just guy shit. You know, you're talking about something fun and someone says a random joke and then it bridges over to, like, dark comedy of, like, you know, beating your kids with baseball bats if they don't hit rank 1 in Challenger and NA.
I thought that was comedy gold, dude. You better edit that stuff.
Great
front page of Reddit. You know what? That's what everyone wants.
This guy, C9 Master Swag King, apparently
Who's
says
that?
he beats kids.
For not getting platinum rank. Yeah, that's exactly.
Platinum? I would lower the bar a little bit if they don't get out of gold. If they don't go silver. If they don't get into gold from silver, it's time to get the belt out.
If you're trying to, okay, here I have standards. If you're trying to play jungle and you can't play Lee Sin in 2 days, you're getting out of my house.
Lee Sin sucks though. Like, why play Lee Sin?
No, but Lee Sin has high mechanics. You get to play all the high mechanical junglers, and if I see you miss one middle spear, that's 1 day of. If you miss one middle spear, you don't get to eat that day.
Implying that Lee Sin's high mechanical skill cap. Yeah. Okay.
Lee Sin is
man!
Lee Sin is
those cues!
Lee Sin is unplayable below, like, high diamond, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If I see you playing a Elise and I see you miss one cocoon, you don't eat that day. Fuck. God damn.
Listen. We started them off easy. You see, you give them Jin Zhao when they're the ripe old age of 6, right? It's pretty easy.
They're the 6.
Yeah,
then you ramp them up. Like then you give them something like Kha'Zix.
Oh my god.
When they turn 9.
Yeah.
All right, Kha'Zix.
Feast or famine. I like it.
Yep. And then when they turn 13, you give them Elise and say, "All right, now carry your way to Challenger, or you won't get Christmas."
Oh
no!
Dude,
you have age group. You start them at 6, and if they don't get to, I would say, plat by middle school, well, then there'll be questions. Then you gotta hit masters by middle school, like masters by high
region
school.
though?
What region?
NA. This is NA.
I'll think about
This is only possible in NA.
I'll send
This
you.
is only possible in
If you
NA.
don't, if you are,
So then you have till high school to get to Challenger, and then you're going pro. If you don't go pro, no, you're.
If you don't go pro when
see-
you're in high school,
you see-
I'm shipping your ass to Turkey, and you'll see what you.
You know what's really depressing though? You know what the most depressing part of this is? Every single one of those junglers are not top tier right now. So it's literally like,
What?
all right,
Okay,
if you can't take this shitty ass jungler that's like B tier, I gets out traded by everyone, and you can't get to Challenger.
No, like Lee Sin is
Lee
literally F tier. Right
I said Nidalee.
Yeah.
I
To be
Nidalee.
fair-
It takes a high.
He's not even in the S tier.
no, but
She's
look,
like barely an A
It
tier.
takes
But
an
here's-
actual good player to make Nidalee look good. I'm just saying
Hold
though.
on. As far as solo queue goes, though, if Kha'Zix isn't like an A or an S tier jungler for solo queue now, give him like 2 months.
No,
Their
he's
Shix
like
Nidalee looks
he's
really
like
nice.
S. I'm pretty sure he's S tier because of what's that
Who?
item? Dusk. Does
Duskblade?
Duskblade give the invisibility now? On,
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Well, Duskblade has always given.
Duskblade can go get self. Just
Yeah. In fact, the old
Wait,
Duskblade.
what?
That's
Who's
the
OP?
thing. Kha'Zix.
Oh yeah, Kha'Zix is S tier.
what the fucking
Kha'Zix is S
list,
tier.
dude? Like who isn't OP?
Dude,
Jesus
Kha'Zix
Christ.
is so much fun to
Every
play,
assassin is OP, man. Oh my god, dude. I have to auto ban a Kali if I'm going top lane because that's just too. You can't do any. Imagine being Jason chucking you to 10 health and she could just auto you and Q you and half her health is back. What
Why
the
would you play
fuck?
You know
Jace?
who's-
Because
you know who's
play Jace?
frustrating?
because
Well,
I
hold
want to.
on. Where do you live? Where do you live?
Where do I live? In California, the best
Yeah,
place on this
what
fucking
nation,
planet.
What continent do you live on? What continent do you live on?
In Antarctica?
No, you live in North America. Why are you playing Jace? Stop.
NA Jace, NA Jace.
Bro,
yeah.
I was winning the lane. I was winning up until her
That's the
jungler
whole
ganked
thing.
for her.
That's the whole NA Jace thing. Is that you win until
I
you
was
lose.
winning up until the jungler came and helped. He needed help. I didn't need help. I was winning.
My God. Oh god! Just blame it on the
Do you know who actually is frustratingly good in every position right now?
Magic
Lulu.
Felix.
It's true.
Lulu
Oh.
is fucking broken, dude. You take her top lane, she wins.
can't
You take her
jungle
mid lane,
Lulu.
dude. I'm pretty sure there's like Nightwing's next video is just gonna come out and be like, Season 11, Lulu jungle fucking broken. 4 million and 0.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then don't even get me started on ADCs, man. Swain is by far the
Right?
best ADC right now. It's
Swain is
like-
actually insanely strong. Oh my
Okay,
god. dude.
Lucian,
Wayne never
MF.
stopped. Never
Jin.
no, dude. Lucian just dies immediately. He's too short range. I would say like maybe Misfortune and maybe like Jin. Samira's like, or is it
Lethality
Samira?
is easy.
Samira? Yeah.
Samira.
If you can abuse
Jin
lethality
is-
as an AD carry,
Samira's
No,
dude.
Jin
Samira.
not even. Jin literally. So Jin got nerfed
you collect
only
them.
to get buffed again. They're literally like, oh yeah,
that
let's nerf
Well,
lethality
'cause-
Jin.
Who else
And they
do you
rebuff
play?
him.
Tristana? Ash? It's like, sure,
And
let's
they-
take
I would
zero
rather. I'll
mobility,
take. Dude,
interruptible
I would
dash.
rather take Tristana and Ashe over an ADC with an inbuilt wind wall ability, and if you duel her and she uses your attacks mean nothing. That's just not fair. Who in the right mind was like, you know what? I'll take Yasuo's wind wall and put it around you, so you can't even do AOE effects on her.
Like,
Yeah.
Who
I
thinks this
understand.
shit?
I don't understand why she needed a ranged auto attack so she could put in the bot lane. Why was that a thing? Just
And-
make her a mid laner. Just put Dante in the mid lane and call it a day.
All right, so since we're at the end of the year, it's a story time. Name one game you got so angry that you lost even though you were winning. It's that one game you were playing so well, you knew you were going to win, but your team played so bad, and you were I'll go last. On my story, I got a story. I almost wanted to snap my neck. All right, Blue Jay, you want to go first? Go ahead.
Yesterday we had a game where we went each other's bases like 8 times in the one game. I think I had a Yone that was 0-20 running it down mid lane. We only won because Master Yi backdoored. It was so awful. I think it was 60-28.
What the fuck?
The scoreline, yeah.
It's like my team's
Oh.
trash. I can't carry this Australian players.
Oh,
right.
it's so bad, bro.
I'll go next. So,
Okay.
So this is like 2 weeks ago. I had a game, in which I was support Seraphine, and I basically solo win my bot lane because my ADC is completely useless. I'm like our bot lane is like I think we're 5-0 like as a bot lane. I'm 3-0-2, and my ADC I think was Jin, was like 2 like 3 and 2-3-3. I look at the rest of the map. My mid laner is a Cho'Gath, who is 0-6. My jungler is what was my jungler? It was an Olaf, 0-5. My top laner was a Singed. 5. It was like I think at the time it was like 5-3. Anyway, we would have won, but the Cho'Gath literally could not hit an ability for his life. Like, just completely missed every single Q. Jin wouldn't use ult until like the very end when he was on such low health, and then would die while ulting. I'm like, do you know when to ult? Do you not? And they're like, I'm like, constantly pinging them. They're like, shut up. I'm like, what do you mean shut up? Like, it's like so I died, and they all run in to the Drake pit after I'm dead. So this is a 4v5. They all run after I'm dead. I'm pinging them to go back. Like, just run away. They're like, shut up. And then they all get aced. I'm like, why don't you just listen? They're like, because we didn't want to listen to. I'm like, oh my god. I ended up going like 20 and like 5, and we lost. But I was playing out of my mind, and I was just trying to keep us in the game, and they just would not. They just would not do anything. And like finally, like I stole Baron. Like I was pulling out all the stops. And then finally, like the ace test, I was just like, I'm done. Let's just FF this. I can't. Like, this is too. I'm spending too much of my mental that I can't play. That like it's gonna affect future games. I was so heartbroken.
All right, I got a classic ADC story for you. This
Mine was
is
an
a
ADC
tale
story
as
too.
old as
Oh
time.
shit, yeah.
All right, you ready for this? All right. We're like, I want to say about 15 minutes into the game, playing Jin. 7-2, and I'm pretty sure about 3 at that point. My support Annie was also sitting on like 3-1. Annie could basically one-shot the AD or Ashe that we were going up against at that point. It was just a bot lane, fucking wash. Like, there was no coming back. Final scoreline, 10, 9, and 14, with the only person on the enemy team who went positive being the fucking Rengar that an Annie, Trundle, Graves, and Echo couldn't take care of. And the Rengar went 21 and 11. And that was the game!
You had S1E17 in your game, holy shit!
That was the fucking game, man! That was the fucking game!
So you lost.
Oh yeah! Just because, like, literally, they wouldn't... I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, all right, guys, just peel for me. Just keep the Rengar off of me. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
And then every fucking time, they run forward, and Rengar just pops out of a bush and kills me, and I'm just...
Oh my god.
And they're like, oh my god, where's Jin? And I was like, do you see the fucking gray screen simulator that I'm playing right now?
Oh shit.
That's a classic ADC tale, because of course
Ooh,
I got reported because apparently I was feeding.
What?
My 10 and 9 scoreline was feeding, but the 7 and 12 Trundle was that's
Oh shit. All right. Ravioli, you got one?
That's a tilter.
I have a similar tale. Let me tell.
It sounds like a Christmas tale. I have a tale as old as time. I was playing League of Legends.
Tale of
The end.
There I
Just
was.
stop it there. There's your depressing story.
The tale of League of Legends.
The end.
I mean,
Yeah.
we just boot up the game. I think like you just go into match history. Every single game is like this. Like you can just pick any game.
So there I was, first game back after several months. I was playing with a couple of my friends, but I was smashed with a random 80 carry, a Draven, in fact. Now this Draven, I looked at his match history. He looked like he was an up and down player, but he just had 3 up games, so I was feeling pretty good about it.
Nice.
I decided to play brand support. I'm like, I like brand support.
Love brand support.
Oh, gotta love it. The opponents, they picked Ashe and Lulu. And I went, you know what? I can still poke them out. This is fine. We go into game. I forget what the rest of the map picked. It didn't actually matter what they picked. The rest of the map was irrelevant. Because this Draven at level 1 decided to go in. He decided he wanted to fight. And it didn't go well for us. He died. I just barely got out using my flash. He came back to lane, a level behind. He saw I was level 3 and said, Brand, let's go again. And I said no. But apparently he heard no and he thought I said go. So what he did is he charged head first into this Lulu. And I'm like, well, if I don't kill them now, this game is over. Because I've seen this tale before. We didn't kill them. We both died. I ended the game with 11 deaths. He ended the game 13. I think we had... I ended up with 7 kills. He ended up with 1. They ended the game... Oh my god! 18-2 and 30 between the two of them.
Oh my god, dude! Your story sounded like a Dr. Seuss book. I started this game off as Brand, and I had a support named Draven. We ran into another dual bot lane, and then we died. That's exactly how it should sounded! That's like a Dr. Seuss
in a nutshell.
Oh my god.
And then I went brand support again, and then I carried the next game, so it was pretty cool.
So
because the secret to brand support is you're not actually the support.
No, you're not. Yeah. Look at me. I am the carry now.
That's exactly it.
All right, so there was this game. It was Aphelios. My support was actually Lulu. Lulu Aphelios. Boom, dream bot lane. I love playing Aphelios. He's like Jinx, but way more skill, and I just love it. Our mid was a Kali, and we had a Zac, and we had a Mordekaiser top. So, on the enemy team, there's a Seraphine mid. I'm like, with Ignite, I was like, okay. Seraphine's actually winning against a Kali. This is like, it's season 11, right now, where she's like busting his shit. Jungler gets her a kill early on. Everything's going good. I'm ahead, bot lane. Everything's going good. And then all of a sudden, we start team fighting. And, Seraphine throws that straight stun. They all just sit there, 4 fights in a row, standing there, just all in one straight line, getting hit by this girl. And then our Zach is somehow 0-12. He's GG, no ADC. I'm like, what? You're 0-12. So the whole game, I was just spamming 0-12 Zach, 0-12 Zach, report jungler, report jungler.
Oh no.
Oh my god, dude. After that, I was like, I'm done with this game. There's 5 fights in a
How
row.
do you lose with a Mordekaiser on your team? Like, just
Our
straight
Mordekaiser
up, man.
went 0-10. I don't know how he died 10
geez.
times. All I know,
How?
I saw him die 10 times to the, it was a Cho'Gath top.
Mordekaiser's like fucking broken beyond all recognition. I saw Mordekaiser go 3-14 and still one-shot the AD carry
Bro,
with a 1.5 items.
He started boots level 1 with all his gold. What do you want me to do? How do you carry that? How do you carry that? It was just like,
Your ADC, you don't.
I don't. Like, oh my god, dude. How do you lose 5 fights in a row? And the Seraphine wasn't even skilled. She was just...
Brand support is ADC.
Bro,
Boom.
the Seraphine
New
wasn't,
meta.
bro, the Seraphine wasn't
Almost
even
fine.
skilled. All she did was just throw her ability straight. There was no... I was like, dodge. Use your mouse and move your character to the side. They were like, how do you... They're like, what?
Seraphine is so awesome. I love
Dude,
Seraphine.
and then I was playing
very
on
into it.
me and my friend. We're playing on his backup account. The number one excuse right now is saying you're new. You look up their account. You're level 30. You played like 100 games. How are you new? Sorry, man. New to league. Don't know how to play. You're level 30. All right, NA is doomed.
Well-
What the fuck? People are delusional.
I mean, to be fair, you get to 30 way faster nowadays than you used to, right?
Bro, you have
Yeah, it's
constant.
basically zero effort to get to 30.
You have constant people saying they've never jungled. How are you like level 60 if you've never jungled? What type of game are you even playing then? Like,
You don't have to. You don't have to anymore. Like,
I
you-
personally believe you should know how to play every single role, even if it's not your main role, just in case you get like autofilled. You know?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh
You should.
man. And then I'm
You
sure you
should.
should,
That,
but
doesn't mean I know more than... Actually, do I know any champions for the top lane?
Yes.
Since Kale got reworked, I don't play Kale
Bro.
anymore.
What role do you main normally?
Jungle support.
What junglers do you play?
Warwick.
You can Warwick top. You can Warwick top.
Oh, that sounds...
Literally, okay. So
fun.
ready? You go grasp into Divine Sunder or Gore Drinker, depending on the matchup. But normally it's Divine Sunder. And you basically go Divine Sunder. You build hybrid tank. You go Divine Sunder into Titanic, into depending on the matchup. You
Maybe
would
it's
then
Spirit
go.
Massage.
every
Right.
time I play with my friend
Abyssal.
every time I play with my friend is Master Yi, he gets like a bunch of kills. I gotta carry this fucking game. Has run a Discord call. I'm like, dude, calm down. You're 2-0-1. What the fuck? It carried shit.
I have a friend who jungles, and it is literally either he carries or
He just-
we lose.
He just
There
kills-
is no in between. It's either he's 17-2 or we lose.
Yep.
By lose, does he feed, or is it just like he just doesn't win?
It's like that gradual it starts fine and then it's just like it just slowly dips down further and further until suddenly you're looking. It's like, dude, you're 3-7. Can you please stop?
It's one of those
Please?
slow
Please?
burns.
Please. Yeah, it's the slow burn. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have the new LCS 2021 format. So when Double has said spring doesn't matter,
It now does.
it guess it matters. Oh my god! So I want to tackle the
I
spring
love this.
split point.
I love this one.
Because you know how a lot of people say that esports should be like traditional sports? I like having splits because it gives you a different way of looking at it. I don't really believe esports should be exactly like traditional sports. And also, I don't personally think one player's opinion should dictate how people should look at a split, though. You could argue it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter to us because we are not a pro. It matters to players who haven't won a trophy before. Imagine, like, all your legacy players, Bjergsen, Doublelift, Perks, Uzi, Faker, Bengi, players like that, right? Half of their trophies come from spring, and half will come from summer. Now imagine just taking that away. There's less trophies, and there's one every year. Like, I guess it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it matters towards legacy about how many trophies you can get personally a year. And I don't just like how one person's opinion just warped everybody's mind, and people just weren't even thinking for themselves. They're like, oh, Double said it, so I believe it. Like, you gotta think for yourself, and that's also what I brought up in episodes in here. It's like, you know, you can reference other people and their points, but I gotta know what you personally feel. Like, you could say Double have said this, but I need to know how you personally feel, because that's what he personally feels. I need to know what you're personally thinking. So that for me, it's always just based off, I want League to be different, and to be fair, even going off of the traditional sport point, the beginning of sports doesn't matter either. All that matters is the end. You could argue that for League too. All that matters towards League is at the end of the year when you win Worlds, and that goes for any sport: basketball, hockey, baseball, football, tennis, soccer. All that matters is the end. So, that's how I personally feel. How do you guys feel about spring actually coming back?
I'm the complete opposite of you. So, okay. I'm actually super happy about this change. I wanted this change to come. There's been multiple people saying this behind the scenes. Like, you look at like a lot of pros, a lot of analysts who are really happy about this change, and like they're just saying that now. I just think Doublelift was like the most vocal about it for two reasons. One, because he was so famous, and like because he was like one of the better, like most legacy, one of the best NA players. Like, he had a lot of tact, and it would be better like saying it from him rather than like some no-name academy player, or not even academy player, but like even
Golden Glue,
like LCS player, like Golden Glue, or even like someone like Solo or something like that. And the other reason is because I like the fact that it's now it's one whole split, but they still have like, I'm really happy what they've done. In fact, it's beyond my expectations, because I really like what the semi Kespa Cup type thing, like at the start, where like you're judging to see like we're seeing the first look at all the teams before January. I think it starts December 6th. I think it's this weekend. No, this weekend is something else.
All-Star.
This weekend is All-Stars.
Which really doesn't matter. If there's anything that doesn't matter, All-Stars doesn't matter.
All-Stars doesn't matter. All-Stars does not matter
shit.
at all. All-Stars does not matter. But I'm super excited about that.
Did All-Stars ever matter though? Like
back when they put stakes on it.
It was a popularity contest.
Yeah, back when they put stakes on it,
All-Stars was meant to be fun.
Yeah.
They literally
Riot took the stakes away. After that 2017 All-Star event, they took the stakes away. You had Team Fire, Team Ice, NA, EU, all those teams. They took the stakes away, and it was like, well, why do I care about this then? Oh, because your favorite pro players are here. No, it's usually biased, and people don't actually vote for the correct player that should have been an All-Star of this year.
Exactly.
I don't want to vote for that. But yeah, continue. Sorry about that.
No worries. So like the thing at the in December, to see where all the teams are slotted before the season even starts, I really like that idea. I like the mini tournament for MSI to choose, because you still have that mini tournament. And like, well, here's the big question, because if you look at the post that Riot sent out, it actually still says that you win an LCS trophy for winning that mini tournament. So
you could potentially win 3 trophies this year. That's good.
Yeah. And the reason why, for me specifically, I really like it is because you continue your season from spring to summer. So like, it's like you have one score line, basically. And the reason why I like that is because it gives you a better perspective of how good teams are overall. And this is really important if you look at the past 2 years, specifically like CLG, Immortals, who are like Golden Guardians, like but like a lot, what would not Golden Guardians last year, but like what would be considered super low echelon tier teams. And for me it matters because like what I'm hoping, and I don't know, like with the whole system, like with the whole system that they have, hopefully it means that they can get, like, it'll be easier to get rid of bottom tier teams and bring in maybe new orgs that want to succeed. So for example, if CLG ends up, and I'm not saying they do, I actually think they'll be something like 7th, but let's say CLG goes like 2 and like whatever number, let's say they only win 2 games. It's obvious they don't belong in the LCS. And it'll be much easier to say, hey, you either need to step up or we're going to find an org to replace you.
That's good. I agree, because you had in the LCK earlier this year at the start of their 2020 season, people don't know this or forgot, a Freak of Freaks won the Kespa Cup. A Freak of Freaks did with Mystic, Spirit, literally didn't matter. Now I personally think they weren't that bad, but it just shows, like, there's there's two different ways you could look at it. Either it's basically the beginning of the season and it's a fluke win and other teams weren't trying, or is there something more to this team and will this be their momentum builder? So like, let's say if a team like FlyQuest win the NA Kespa Cup, that might be a good momentum builder for them going into the split, though. It's good to have that momentum. You don't want to just come off rusty. Hey, you know what? Diamond, go play against Perks right now, week 1. He's like, oh, what that guy? Oh, shit. But if you play against him right now, it's not too bad. You know?
I'm just really impressed with the sheer number of games that are going to be played through there.
Oh, I got so much content.
45 games
Yep.
that each team is going to be played by the end of the season. Like, that is phenomenal. And it gets a lot of
even more depending on how far each team goes in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and honestly,
like the casters, like each game is casted too.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason. Slight bias. No, I just love the sheer amount of games that are going to be played because people rag on NA for still having the best of 1 and not doing the best of 3, best of 5 format that Korea and China have proven to have been incredibly valuable. But with this sheer number of games that are going to be played, anyone who's like, oh, they just don't have the time to like practice everything and scale up and like, some games don't matter. No. Now no one can say anything. Like, they legitimately solved every major issue that I can think of with the previous NA format. I shouldn't say current NA format because, well, it no longer exists. So no, I love it. I love what they did. I think that it's the best changes they possibly could have done.
I'm pretty sure also when push comes to shove, I think we have we're now the set out of the 4 major regions. We're now we have the second most games played with us being under China.
Yeah. China just has...
You know what I also liked is that they
teams.
identified that there's a dip in the middle of the season with viewers, so they condensed spring down because they already knew it was going that route. So now you have 6 weeks of spring instead of 9, which I think is also good, but you're just playing more games in that period, so you don't lose that dip in viewership because it peaks toward the top and also peaks toward the end. I like that. But it also shows me that they're actually listening to a lot of the fans, but I would argue don't take all the fans' opinions. You gotta dictate the ones that are like, if someone's writing a paragraph and they're actually breaking down why they don't like something, or there's someone that says LCS is trash, LCS won't win worlds. All right, don't listen to that guy, obviously, because I feel like they're listening to the other guy rather than the actual sensible person sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
No, 100%. But I mean, I think anyone who's in esports as more than just a casual watcher already knows to ignore like 90% of Twitch chat and 90% of comments under everything, and just ignore Reddit entirely because Reddit is just don't even bother,
dude.
There's nothing
I love
productive
Reddit.
happening on Reddit.
On the TSM subreddit, it was like Beerson or Faker, best mid laner of all time. I was like, what drugs are you people on? Let me read these comments. Yeah. I wasted an hour of my life.
Oh no, you made a mistake.
No, it's like just you know how you're just like bored and you're hanging out with your friend, just read some stuff online. Oh my god, there are some dumb people on this planet.
Oh yeah. But to give credence where it's due, Doublelift was right. Like, spring split prior to these changes met equivalent to dick all. Like, sure, oh yeah, you can go to MSI and stuff like that. Now there is a real chance of only one I guess there really is only one NA team that's ever going to go to MSI, and that puts a lot of onus on the teams that actually want to, compete internationally. Only C9 or Team Liquid are going to get that international practice, or are going to be able to represent NA.
Bro, and TSM are winning the split. What are you talking about?
I mean, maybe.
Dude,
maybe
try to get this one out.
Maybe if Huni gets hurt and then Hans and they have to bring Hanser up, maybe they have a chance at winning, but I don't think so. No.
You're beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah, Doublelift's right. Spring split didn't matter. I sure felt that as a C9 fan last year.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, 100%.
Especially. I mean,
especially since
like COVID.
MSI didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
because MSI didn't happen.
I think
C9
personally
would have gone to MSI.
Personally for this
but
year,
even then, it was like you're sending multiple teams to MSI.
Yeah.
The spring split results don't actually carry over to summer season, so they're treated as two different. like all of that basically just came into that. Unless you were going for international practice, your results in spring, who cares?
That's
like,
what I
oh,
thought
yeah,
for this year. For this year's MSI 2021 coming up, they should let 2 teams go. I've always thought it should be 2 teams though. No?
No.
Oh wait, well,
And
okay.
we need to re-earn it, dude. Like
No, 2
NA
teams
needs to
in
actually
general from all the regions, like Korea
Oh,
sends 2.
okay.
I
So
it's much more interesting with 2 teams going.
I
That's
think
what I
that
was-
if you have like an upper bracket of all the top 1 team, so like basically the first seed of every region, and then a lower bracket of maybe like the second tier team and like the number 2 teams, maybe it'll work. But I still think currently it's fine as just the first seed.
Okay. But
yeah, no, I agree.
that's pretty much it for the MSI part. Going into summer, it's relatively the same, other than they just said that, you know, they're trying to avoid rematches and playing the same series in the same week, essentially, or the same time frame, right? Okay.
I think that more has to do with the playoffs. So remember how Golden Guardians played TSM twice? Basically what that meant was they just don't want like another one of those where you have Golden Guardians.
That was exciting though. Golden Guardians almost 5-0'd them. They almost 6-0 TSM. Just factor that in. They almost actually just perfect game them. Oh my god. No, but I understand why they didn't do that anymore. Because like at the end of the day, Golden Guardians wins at the beginning didn't matter because, you know, they ended up getting knocked out by the same team. But Blue Jay, what do you feel about all this, man? You've been quiet over there. I think so.
You can call me
Super
Blue
sus.
Jay, but it's Blue Plays.
Blue Plays. Okay. I actually
he's not Canadian, dude. Come on.
No, I thought he was. Is that Aaron from Attack on Titans?
No, it's Armin.
It's Armin. It's
okay. My brain ain't working. I don't got a brain.
Yeah. Armin's the guy with the brains.
To be fair, guys, watching this on YouTube, everyone that show gets eaten anyway. I'm just saying, they're all dead now. There's no season 4. They're all dead. The show got ended. Remember in Alien vs Predator Requiem, where they just nuke Colorado? That's how the show ends.
I'm about to bomb your video by just spouting out everyone who died this season because I read the manga.
Oh my god!
First off, you can only spoil what happens after the reclamation. So I mean.
Huh,
Anyways.
what's going on with your background?
Yeah. Titties hanging
Everything's
out.
always yeah, 100%. Boom. E-girls invasion all the time. Boom, back to normal. Boom, back to e-girls. Boom, back. Anyways.
Oh, but Trackhawk, he actually had a disgusting topic for this one. It was the G2 one.
Yeah.
To talk about. Okay, spit it out.
G2. So. Yeah, there was 2 topics that I was putting forward.
But you only get one. I don't get privileges here.
Only get one.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It wasn't really like that.
Back them up into one.
How many people we got who actually follow
me? I follow
EU.
everything. I follow all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got like 2 people who follow EU as well. Okay.
Joke's on you guys. I don't even watch League of Legends. I just bullshit my way.
Nice, I like
that. He could be that one guy that on YouTube said Double was the best ADC on the planet, and that was one video that came out like 4 years ago. I was like, all right, you definitely don't watch League, bro. Just literally admit that, and we can move on, okay?
Yep.
I think we found the imposter.
Yeah.
You get it? Because he's ravioli.
Oh my god. Oh. All right, let's go.
All right. So why G2's dominance has caused a stagnation in the lower team's growth of EU? That was basically one of the. Yeah.
I can answer that, but I'm gonna let you guys go because you guys don't usually get to be here.
Well, what was the other one? I want to hear the other one.
Yeah.
Well, the other one was CLG, and where was it? Why we hope CLG fails. Because that, like, we shit on them. Yeah,
that's the title.
We shit on them a lot. All right.
That's the title of the video. That's the title of the video right there.
Why we hope? Because like when we did the whole like tier ranks listing and stuff like that, we fucking shit on CLG.
Okay, Ravioli was just being obnoxious. That was Ravioli. I was being nice to them.
Yeah, but at the end,
I mean.
But like we should actually look into why a lot of us hope CLG fail as opposed to just being like, oh yeah, CLG is gonna shit the bed, because it is we talked about it like briefly how CLG is the perfect litmus test of whether or not rookie talent is going to be seen as worthwhile investments, because this season we have teams that have invested heavily in rookie talent, and then we've
Golden
got
Guardians.
a team. Yeah, exactly. And then we've got teams like CLG, well, basically just CLG, who have just been like doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down
I should be
on
punished for that.
Oh,
fucking veterans and shit like that. And so
It's not the way.
Can I take this? Because
Yeah.
I can reveal why I fucking hate CLG. So
Oh
much.
God!
Nani?
our Messiah is about to reveal
Ever
sacred text.
Here, I'm about to read to you the logs.
What?
What the logs say is, ever since franchising became a thing, I've sort of expected something a little different out of the legacy orgs. You know what I mean? TL, C9, TSM, and normally CLG. I would expect something out of them. They're the only legacy org that I see year after year have the fucking audacity to run out the rosters that they're running out and expect their fans to be okay with it. If you're a CLG fan, I don't understand why you still are, because they clearly don't give a shit about you. That's just the fucking truth.
I can't breathe.
Well, okay, that's the that. It's
That's
not
the
even just
reason
the fan base.
I fucking hate CLG,
Oh
the
my-
organization.
Oh my God,
That's fair.
dude! Who in
I
CLG
wish
did double
their
of
fans
shit in
got
your
better.
cereal back in
I
2015? Holy shit!
I wish CLG was performing at the same level as TSM, C9, and TL.
They used to. It used to be TSM,
used
Cloud9,
to.
and CLG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be that way.
When
Yeah.
the fucking dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
That was like 4 seasons ago, but
No, that
anyway.
was back. That was back when it was like what was it called? Like full time. It was Afro Moon Double Lift.
Oh, you mean Rush Hour?
Rush
Oh
Hour,
yeah.
that was it,
Oh,
yeah.
like no, they were still good up until 27. Remember in the 2017 regional gauntlet? That was the last time I saw CLG at a peak of anything. Because they got first in the regular season, didn't they?
Yeah,
that
they
was
won
me,
trophies.
CLG.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
fa-
sure because I was still watching.
They had
I
Dig,
wasn't
because they
playing
faced
it.
Dig in that third place match in 2017, and they got first place with Omar God. They had Dardock and Omar God that season too. Up until 2017, they were still a top 3 because TL was still in relegations, doing that whole
Yeah.
Piglet shenanigans. I was like, oh fuck, you
Oh
guys
yeah,
are pieces
and
of
Double
trash.
Lift had to bring them out. Double Lift
Dying
that
to
was when
red
Double
buffs
Lift
and
brought you out.
shit. God damn.
See, for me, it's so interesting because I didn't play League. Like, this is basically my first season to actually play. But I've been watching League for such a long time, so I know a lot more about like the pro scene than I do about the actual game.
How are you still
Anyway.
here?
But but so one of the things that I'm pretty CLG out of all orgs has literally been one of the best teams, technically speaking, internationally. I'm pretty sure they were the first team that
When
and
have they been international?
they went to semifinals, beating I think it was SKT or something like that, and then losing to like RNG at like
This
one of
is-
the first MSIs.
Yeah.
Oh, they got
it's
second
quite old,
place.
though.
They got second place.
Yeah,
It
they
was-
got second place. So
so-
they beat
They beat all
like
the
a
teams,
top
yeah.
tier team,
They beat everyone.
and then they lost
Yeah.
to RNG.
So it's really weird with NA's achievements at internationally. So you had CLG, MSI 2016 second place, C9's top 4, TL's upset against IG getting to the MSI finals, and that's pretty much. I mean, if you want to count all the other Cloud9 quarterfinals, is that really success? It's kind of weird to count that, but in terms of like the highest, NA's only ever had like 3 of them, which is weird.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the. I mean that. Because to be fair, it was you could see C9 beating Afrika. I even predicted 3-0 for that series. So, some of my friends that they know I did. CLG's was really unexpected.
I predicted against them against Afrika too. I put them down like on the scorecard, like the world like on the world's thing. I predicted them moving on.
But it's weird because in 2016, there was a world where I was thinking like, man, what kind of team are we sending? Who he looked just looks like trash. But to be fair, in the TL versus IG series, pre-expectations, bro, they were like negative 100. No one even gave them a game. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, because the C9 one, while it was good, you did see a world where C9 could win. For the other two, with CLG and Team Liquid, I didn't really see them actually winning or doing a lot of the
It
tournaments.
was a huge upset.
Those surprised me more. Cloud9 was expected. We saw them grow throughout the tournament. CLG's was like, man, they struggled against TSM with Yellow Star. I was like, all right, you guys are gonna stink internationally. And TL, they weren't challenged here at all, really, except by like Cloud9, and they didn't face Cloud9 because TSM knocked them out early before they went to MSI. So it was like the other two are more surprising, but it depends on how you look at MSIs versus how you look at Worlds. Relatively, I don't count IEMs for TSM fans. Don't even bring that up to me. IEMs are worthless garbage. Have Mad Life fucking Leona solar flaring when he's gonna die, when there's nobody around him. Are you serious? And then also for that IEM, Kuro first time Yasuo in a first series ever. I'm not even counting that. I'm not even gonna look at that series. Don't even. Fuck. How did Rocks Tigers lose to T World Elite? God damn.
Dude, you will not slander the name of Mad Life in this stream.
It was so
Mad
washed
Life
up.
is so good though.
It was so washed up at that play. I love Mad Life. Bro, he came to NA. Bro, you know you're washed up if you're Mad Life. You're coming to NA playing on Loco Doker's challenger team.
Playing right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Mad Life's one of those cases where, you know what, I would have liked to see him go out with some
flair.
Some flair rather than, what's been happening. But no, like, okay, so the entire thing behind CLG is like, it's not so much that, I'm thinking of why people hate or why we hope CLG fails just as a team, right? Previously there was tons of reasons for that, just for that shit. I mean, this season specifically, everyone I talk to, and I'm one of these people, we hope that CLG fails, and not just fails, but fails specifically against the teams with rookies.
Yeah, because they're not giving any of their fans hope.
I think that
is it really down to that though? Like I agree with Swag when he said that CLG is a good litmus test for whether or not people are going to invest in rookies. I think that's an incredibly dangerous thing for CLG to potentially give credence to, the idea that you can at least like throw together a shit ton of veterans, win enough games for it to be, worthwhile, because you're picking up these veterans for fucking pennies on the dollar and not giving any rookies any time of the day. That's a dangerous fucking mentality to have.
Well, I think I think for me, it's also like the mentality of this team, like everyone knows this team, and I'm sure like this team is not going to be like top 5 at whatsoever. Like it's just not possible that they're top 5. And so for me, my biggest thing with CLG is like they're not striving to be top 5. They're striving to be not like last, second to last, or third to last.
Let me ask you guys a question.
I was gonna say not last.
Let me ask you guys a question.
The entire goal is to not be last. And for me, that's a problem.
Before we do our next few episodes, we'll do our power rankings for the LCS 2021 Spring Split. Where are you placing CLG?
I'm placing them 7th.
That's where I was going to place them too. I'm placing them at 7th.
8th.
I think that Golden Guardians and Immortals are going to be worse. I think that Golden Guardians and Immortals, I hope beat them. I want CLG to be 10th. But I do believe that the veterancy of
that'll get them
CLG.
a lot of it again. Like to be fair, what I was trying to bring up earlier was that if you already have established veterans, they already know how to play the game. They already know how to win competitively. And you are bringing Pro Belter, who's won titles, Broxa, who's been successful, quote unquote. You also bringing in who else you have here? Who else you have? Sorry, I forgot the names. Holy shit.
Smoothie?
Wild Turtle Smoothie had success to some degree, and then you just have Finn. And so as long as Finn is not dog shit like Ruin, I think they'll be winning some games. And I do believe there will be a point where the rookies could overtake them, but is that going to happen this split? That's in 6 weeks, man. Like
we hope so.
No, this year, I don't think it'll happen. Not this year. I think if you have the exact, let's just say I doubt this will happen, but let's say you have the exact same teams going into next year. I don't think CLG will win. If you have a whole year to practice, and you have the exact same teams from Golden Guardians, Immortals, and CLG, I think out of those 3, CLG will then be last.
People have to factor in this when you're talking about CLG, is that is Broxa worse than all the other bottom tier junglers? And by bottom tier, one of those teams has Xerxes on there. So that's also a strong jungler in and of itself, but is he really going to be able to carry Immortals? It's like, maybe. Like, Broxah has more veterans at the moment, which will give them free early enough wins for it to matter later on, because you're factoring it into our combined records. But if we're talking about Wild Turtles and ADC, is he going to be losing to, like, Stixay? He precisely claps this guy every week they play. I mean, like...
I'd like to say, I would not be surprised, though, if Broxah bounced back this year and was just a crazy jungler.
I would not either. I would not be
wouldn't.
surprised. I think like, and the major reason why is like
Omniscient.
I think
Rip.
this I think like I think that this is CLG's we don't want to get last place roster. And for me the problem with that is because I don't know what the exact rules are, but if you get like I think it's if you get 8th or 9th with like within like 3 years, then you lose your org spot. Or it's like you get 9th twice in a row, or you get 8th, 9th, 8th and 9th like 3 years in a row, you end up losing your org spot. I think this is literally them putting together a team just so they can't lose their org spot. And for me, that's problematic.
Wait, sorry, are they in danger of losing their org spot?
I think so because of their last 2 performances.
But I don't know if Riot would really kick them out. To be fair,
so that's the thing.
I don't really believe they would
I don't know if they would kick them out, but like that's like I remember there's a thing with Riot where if you get in a certain number of places, a certain number of years in a row, you have potential to lose your org spot for better teams. Or for orgs that want to do better, because also, like they do want to place into some effect where if you're losing a bunch, like let's say you're losing
basically
a
not providing anything for the league anyway.
Exactly. So I think that this is sealed. Yeah.
So for this year, they have Moon, which I think might be a different type of coach, and it's also like people aren't not seeing this true. Moon is going to have his first year of coaching too. You know, it's going to be a year of
Moon
like
coaching.
Moon's coaching CLG. He's their head coach. So you're going to have Moon, Bjergsen, Reignover, just player coaches. And I think it's a nice transition to have that because let's be honest here, because this is how I think things. I don't know about you guys personally. I'm not trying to say that's how you should think. If someone is sucking so bad at their job, you might as well try out someone else. What do you got to lose?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
Song and Weldon, you know, weren't that good. Like, let's be honest here. They made CLG pretty bad after a while. But yeah, continue.
I really like Moon as a coach. I mean, like I saw Moon as a player within Academy. Like, I love like the like what quote unquote Moon and Sun duo. Like when you would see that in the Academy. But no, so like Moon is the type of player. He's got like he reminded me of like he was always the type of player who wasn't mechanically gifted, but was more gifted macro wise. And I think that's much more what you're looking for when you're looking for a coach. It's why I would say if you had the choice between Double Lift or Bjergsen as a coach, you pick Bjergsen 10 times out of 10 because like you don't look for a mechanical coach. Like that's not like more as a head coach specifically. Like maybe for a role coach, you want to have someone mechanically gifted. That way, like you can like force players to practice. Like what you can basically push players to limit when practicing. But as a head coach, you want someone basically big brain. You want the big brain coaches. And I think if you look at Bjergsen, Moon, Mithy as like not even a head coach, but as like the sub coach for C9, and then I think Reignover is C9 sub coach. All of those are like when you think about big brain players. And so for me, like that just makes me really excited about the coaching because for me, I always like I'm much more into analytics of League. Like I love analyzing League, like looking up, doing like
funny.
the
I just thought of right now is since Reaper's not on Cloud 9, what if Jack demotes him to the FlyQuest? You're demoted to head coaching FlyQuest.
Holy shit!
You can coach the players you've seen for the past 2 years.
But like this still doesn't really hit the entire thing. CLG, yeah, we know like anyone who is into the analytics, anyone who's looking at the team is not going to be like, yeah, CLG 10th place. Like it's I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it would require more things to fuck up and a lot of things to also like do better that are outside of CLG's control.
I also feel really bad for Moon at the same exact time. Because
why?
As a coach, think about it. As a head coach, you now have to deal with 5 basically veteran players who all have different ways of playing. That's so much harder than having 5 rookie players who you can basically mold into whatever you want. It's much easier to say you 5 are playing in this one style than to say than to take 5 veterans who all have different play styles and who are ingrained in their own play style and say you 5 are playing this way. Because if you look, this is especially in the past, if they start to lose, each of them are going to start to do what they think is best for winning instead of doing what makes the team best for winning.
Hey, Wild Turtle, stop flashing forward. I'm gonna put you on Academy.
That's almost like his signature fucking move. Jesus
God.
Christ. Wild Turtle flashing forward. Name more iconic.
But for CLG, it's just
Double if not flashing at all.
I feel like they realized that people were kind of catching on to what they were doing or how badly they've been ran as an org for.
What were they doing though? They weren't doing anything, and now
consistently sucking.
I'm going to throw forward exactly why I hope CLG fails beyond all recognition of the words. It's not because I hate the players. As a matter of fact, individually, I think the roster is totally fine, totally passable. My main problem stems from the exact reason that, was it Ravioli or Omniscient who said that this is their safe roster?
Me. This is like the safety roster.
I had much harsher words to say.
That is my problem.
I'm the nicer one.
Like, when the fuck did we fall into an LCS pattern? This feels like back when if you were 8th or 9th, you lost your roster spot or you had to fight for it. Sort of mentality. There isn't that anymore. This safe roster kind of ideas. I fucking hate the idea of that. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, I agree.
To make a real world analogy, it's like what the Okay, I am a Flames fan. Yeah, roast me anyways. It's like what the Flames did in 2016. It's pointless if you're not actually going to try to win anything and you're just going to basically stave off till next year. What the fuck are you doing? At least do something.
No, I agree.
At least try and bring up some rookie
what they could have
talent.
What they could have did is you just keep Smoothie and Broxah and Pobelter, bring in a new top or a new AD carry. Or switch, or however you feel like you want to do it. Because if those, let's say they bring in like 3 new players around Pobelter and Broxah, 3/5 of the team change out.
Or hell, if you think Finn and Broxah are fucking gods on
EU, having a strong EU presence is fine. So if 3 of those players or 2 players pan out, you sell it for more money, just like Jack did. You make more money. Need that, then you can make the big money moves, maybe buying some of the bigger talent. Because if you just have a passable veteran roster that's only going to compete for like 5th place, that reminds me of that roster Golden Guardians put together with Contracts, Froggen, and Haunter, and definitely an Ole. You're not winning. It's a roster of players that have had minimal success that are veterans. It's all it really is, with potential upsides. That's it. Why not just bring it at that point? Why not just bring in new players?
And
there's a bigger upside. There's a bigger upside to that because we've already seen these other guys play. Like, you know.
And I agree with what you said originally. I'm not even sure if you remember you said this, but you basically pointed that CLG, if they succeed in any way, shape, or form, if they, God help us, if they're top 5, if they end up top 5, I hate to say it, but let's face it, below top 3, there's a lot of questions about everyone. Like, below C9, Team Liquid, and TSM, there's a lot of fucking questions about every single roster.
I swear to God, if Evil Geniuses loses to this team, I'm gonna throw a fit.
But that's just it. Like, my biggest worry is CLG actually works. And, like, we somehow have Broxah just tooth and fucking nail with, like, I don't know who the fuck's gonna show up. Maybe Wild Turtle, maybe Finn. Just 2 of them literally just fucking who's the guy who has like a fucking world on his back? Atlas. Yeah. CLG just has the one player fucking Atlases them into 4th place or some shit like this. If they do that, I 100% agree with you. There is no reason that GMs are going to look at rookie talent and be like, why would we spend money? Why would we spend the same amount of money that we could buy Pobelter for, who has, fucking proven that he can get to 4th place, and instead risk it on, like, I don't know who the fuck is new, Palafox.
Well, here's the thing.
Palafox.
Well, here's the thing. A, Palafox is probably cheaper. B,
His contract's worth probably about a Snickers bar.
Like Broxa's carrying them, kicking and screaming all the way to the enemy nexus, and it's just Broxa and like Finn doing that, and then your bot lane and mid laners have nothing to do with it. They will look at that and say, "Well, why are we paying you this when we can just?"
They
pay
won't though.
Literally nothing.
Dude, these. My biggest worry is GMs, and we Team Liquid is actually the perfect example of this. Paid by Steve is not just a meme; it is literally a
right.
It's
remember how we said
a guy that just saw the best fucking players and literally just went to play. Just went to his.
I remember that.
The
remember
key players
he
that
bought the Immortals roster, sold them all for money to get a superstar team. It was like, okay, Steve's actually making moves, and it's also based in something else. It's like, I think Steve realized if you want to have success, you're gonna have to build a super team. And like, the issue here with CLG is like they're just past the point of other big names wanting to go to their team. It's not really just about the money, because I do believe that at the end of the day they're making some good money. But it's like, if someone comes up to you, if I come to you right now and I tell you right now, hey bro, you can play with Jensen or you can play with Finn top lane. What do you want to play with, dude? It's like, come on, well, like
that's like if you're a top tier like prospect or some shit like that.
Even then, I would say, like, I would even go like a step. You could take a step back or take a step forward, but I would say that, like, looking at each of these teams, you can already tell like that certain teams just aren't going to be viable. Like
Dignitas,
like you just look and you're like, this is just going to be TLC9 for like the top. And then, like, it's gonna be it's basically gonna be who gets third place. It's basically the question.
100 Thieves, TSM, EG kind of come into that conversation.
We can base that on their rosters, but here's the fucking biggest problem that I have. None of them are guaranteed if CLG shows up. That's my biggest problem. Like, in what world do we not consider like Finn, Broxa, Pobelter, Wild Turtle, and Smoothie to be viable if they show up? That's the fucking problem. Because we have rookies who will outperform them 100%, but
at some point,
at some point or immediately, like
it depends. Yeah.
Well, I would say Palafox is a better mid laner than actually Pobelter. I would actually make an argument that Palafox.
Sure, but he doesn't have the experience, and now GMs are going to be looking at this, and if Palafox doesn't immediately work out, then he's going to be fucking thrown out, and Pobelter's going to be thrown on a different team.
Yeah,
like if Palafox doesn't work out, and CLG ends up in 4th place, even if Pobelter wasn't a key reason, there are going to be because paid by Steve, they don't actually. I'm willing to bet this. Outside of Echo Fox, there hasn't been a GM who actually knows how fucking good the players they buy are. They just have analysts or people below them. No, I'm willing to bet even Jack has analysts and people who like are doing the legwork for him, and then they just put forward a platter, and they're like, all right. These are the players that we should be looking at. These are the players that we want. And yeah, they get the credit because they fucking bought them and they formed these super teams and shit like that. Oh yeah, woohoo. Yeah. Guess what? At the end of the fucking day, there's no fucking way that Steve, if you walked up to Steve, I am like 90% certain that if you went, hey, so Broxa versus who's fucking
Santorin?
Santorin. Who would you take? He's going to have no fucking idea. Other than the fact that some analyst has told him that Santorin is like the fucking top tier right now.
So
Santorin was like the best jungler, like the best prospect jungler going into the season. Of course, Team Liquid's going to fucking buy
I wanted to tackle on one of your points, which was people not really being willing to accept that there's going to be growth in the rookies, because everyone right now is in this like weird honeymoon phase with these rosters because we don't know how they're playing yet, where they're basically saying, yeah, we're going to accept the fact that the rookies aren't going to be able to perform yet. Bullshit. I'm asking you guys one thing. How many of you guys actually believe that?
I don't actually believe what?
that the fans are willing to accept new players trying to develop, and instead of basically like raging and saying, no, kick these players.
Well,
Okay,
it's easy.
so, okay,
Well, because
okay.
it's
No,
easy.
okay.
Because
Not a hive mind.
it's easy to say that when we haven't seen them play yet. You know,
so I would say there is a caveat. So there's two types of players. There's two types of quote unquote fans. There's the Reddit fans, and then there's like, well, I'd say there's three types of fans. There's Reddit fans.
there's LCS.
There's like an average fan, and then there's what I would dub like an analyst fan. So like if you look at the three, the regular, like, I'm just gonna watch a game of LCS because I play League, like, they won't care. Like, that's just their viewpoint. They don't care. Like, they just like watching League because they like the game. The Reddit fans, no. If they don't win now, you don't win. And then the analyst fans, they're going to be the ones who are going to be like, yes, give them time and they will grow. Like, for example, like one of the
But there's not a lot of analyst fans. Like,
there
Beside,
isn't.
like-
But the thing is that for me, like, one of the things I'm most happy about, and like for me, no, like, you're a Cloud9 fan. I did not like Licorice. Like, even when Licorice was good, like, I never really was on the hype about Licorice. I am way more hyped about Fudge
You want black
than
licorice?
I ever was about.
Yeah, my boy Fudge. He's a good top laner.
I'm super hyped about Fudge, and he's like a rookie. And I want to see Fudge clap Finn so hard. I'm so hyped for that.
Bro, Finn could barely malfight all. I'm pretty sure Fudge will have no worries beating this dude.
but we say that, but here's the depressing reality.
It's best of ones. Anything can happen.
It's best of ones. Anything can fucking happen.
Wild
But
Turtle
even more than that, like, and it all comes back to why I hope CLG fails.
It's confirmed. CLG winning the split.
Okay, if CLG wins the split,
Okay.
just straight up, Liquid and C9 should just disband and fucking leave. No, scratch that. TSM, C9, and Liquid should just all
imagine,
three of them just
I
pack
just
their
imagine
fucking bags.
Finn versus
They
Khan.
should form- they
Imagine
should
if
form
Dan,
their
bro.
own region.
Imagine if Dan won.
AG 100 Thieves, like, sure,
Hey!
there's a world where they
Take
lose
this off,
and
100
where
Thieves.
they.
Take this off 100 Thieves jersey. All right, I've always been a Nate Shaw fan, you know? Hey, what's up, guys? Just imagine, like, Dan won an MSI, and he's, Khan's clap. Just imagine Showmaker versus Pole Filter. I don't want to settle my worst enemy, bro.
No.
But
Would that even be fun to watch it at that point?
fun for me. I watch it get destroyed.
It's kind of like watching it's
like Michael Myers.
It's like making fun of TSM.
It's like watching Michael Myers kill someone you know that can't fight back. It's just you get that great feeling. Oh yeah, I love watching you getting destroyed.
No, it's gonna be like a challenger player, like trying to get a Smurf account up to like gold.
But the last thing for the COG point, because I want to talk about the other one, is it depends. That's the format we have here. If it was best of threes, you would clearly see a adaptation for the games to see how these rookies could be better. But in terms of best of one, anything can happen, man. CLG could come out the gates as first place. Let's be honest here. That's how it could be.
Yeah.
But
I hate best of ones. I really wish we go back to best of threes.
oof.
Ditto.
Actually, but it's actually really interesting because I would actually say the best of ones actually favor the rookies over the veterans, and here's why. Veterans are used to playing longer series. Like they're going to be more accustomed to the best of three. Rookies, not so much. This is like best of ones are going to be their best way to win because they can cheese out wins. Like if it was a best of three, rookies would have a much harder time. Not only because they're new, but also because they don't have the tenacity so much to say, haha, tenacity is in the LCS. But
Or mental fortitude.
they don't have like they don't have like the mental fortitude of a best of three. Like if they lose the first game, well, what's gonna happen next? Whereas if CLG loses the first game, well, they've all been there. They know what it's like. You can almost bet for certain that the second game they just won't fall apart.
All right, time to tackle the G2 point. So the question was, why is G2's dominance had caused stagnation in EU, basically, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So it's going to be two different points. So for as you guys know the EU history, even if you're not an EU fan, the longest running story is Fnatic were always the Fnatic were basically the king. They're the TSM of EU. They're essentially the king, right?
And G2 shut up.
And then G2 were basically like Cloud9. They came in one split, they dominated, and unlike Cloud9, G2 have had consistent dominance in EU over the course of 4 EU LCS trophies and 4 LEC trophies. Perks fun fact, has won 4 trophies in EU and from a past era and 4 trophies from a modern EU era. That's insane. But Carlos is a different type of owner. Carlos basically changed the way EU is seen by how he's been running G2. A lot of the EU teams from the past that I saw when I was watching before G2 came in 2016 was you basically just had, all you had to have was like a few good players and you would win. If you had the legacy players that were that have been in the league for a while, you pretty much won. And that was only Fnatic though. And then
It's
you
like
have
NA.
yeah, you have Alliance who won in 2014 EU LCS Summer Split, right? The 2014 one? Yeah, it was 2014. Other than that, also, but there was no competition outside of Fnatic, basically. Like, there's other teams, I know these teams, but it's like, Unicorns of Love tried, they didn't have the funding, they didn't really get it. HUK, Origin, and Unicorns of Love, they tried really hard. Unicorns of Love, out here playing Shaka in Season 5. Guys, they played Yorick, in a game. This is before Yorick was good. This Yorick was actually play the champion. You should delete your fucking account, bad.
I still cry that Unicorns of Love is...
Oh my god, Unicorns of Love tried, HUK tried, Origin tried, but Fnatic always had the bigger funding, they had the longevity and the success to drive in the better players. G2 came and were like, nah, fuck that, we're going with a new roster, we're going with players you've never seen before, they win, then you built that dynasty. They built the dynasty, and they've consistently had perks there for up until now. He's left to Cloud9, be there, bring new players in, and they've even gotten players in that never won that are starting to be stars that people see today. Sven and Mitty never won until they came to G2. Never won at all. They got finals, but they never won.
So let's just break this down into something that I always look at and I fucking hate. Like, I watch a lot of EU LCS and I fucking hate this.
You mean the LEC?
In NA LCS, the LEC. In NA LCS, we have 4 winners. We have TSM, CLG, Team Liquid, and C9. In EU,
there's 2.
Other than Alliance, there is 2.
Bro,
wait, didn't Origin
and Fnatic?
Didn't Origin win once?
No,
didn't Origin come in first?
Origin got
They've
to
never
finals
come first.
Origin got to finals 3 times.
Let me run you through this. 2013, Fnatic. 2014, Fnatic and Alliance. That 2014 Summer Split was the only time this changes. 15, Fnatic. 2015, Fnatic. 16, G2, 17, G2, 18, Fnatic. 2019, G2, 2020, G2.
Yep.
Name one other fucking team that matters in EU other than Fnatic and G2.
Oh, Misfits did some shit at Worlds one time.
See, that's the thing. They remembered for a series they lost.
And Unicorns of Love shit on TSM really hard with Twisted Fate Jungle, okay,
that was
man?
The same year that SKT didn't look as good as normal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that actually that was the year that SKT lost to.
That was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, they lost to whatever it was called.
Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, everyone shits on NA versus EU just because, G2 and Fnatic fucking, like, honestly go toe-to-toe and honestly some years smash fucking Liquid, C9, and TSM. But, like, in their bottom tier, like, everyone below that.
Vitality's a joke. I would love for someone to argue me Vitality.
So here's the thing.
Is a joke. Like,
so, like, if you look at the LEC and then you look at the LCS, like, the LEC has better, like, top 2 teams and bottom 2 teams. So they have better of like the edges of like they have better worse teams than the LCS.
So their shittiest teams are shittier than anything, and their best teams are better than anything. Got it.
No. Their best teams are better than us, and their shittier teams are better than our shittier. But if you look at like anywhere from 3 to 7, or like 4 to 8, or 4 to 7, or like 4 to 6. Our 4 to 7 are better than their 4 to 7.
Here's how I see it.
But they're like 1 2.
G2 Fnatic
is better than our 1 2.
G2 Fnatic gods. Then you have that middle
Fnatic's
ground
still
of
gonna
like.
be the team next year, though.
Then you have that middle ground of like Rogue, Mad
I actually
Lions
think
now,
Fnatic's gonna be stronger.
Like,
I actually think Fnatic's gonna be stronger.
I'm not trying to be mean here, but I am. XL Esports are on their own tier of shit. You have like mega shitty tier right there. Then you have Vitality, who is just permanent shit. Then you have Astralis.
Actually.
You have Astralis, are they even competing in the league? They might as well be. They might as well go to fucking Turkey.
Deficio was that entire team. Bro, like, as soon as like Deficio left, like that team. done.
Dude,
Like,
Astralis is literally competing for 20th place. Let's be honest. Come on.
Fun fact, G2, Fnatic, Misfits, and I think it was Vitality, they all applied for LCS franchising spots.
Crazy.
Yeah.
G2 did too at one point. That's crazy, man. But Blue,
Yeah, so like when the franchising stuff happened,
but Blue,
they all applied and
what
they
did
all
you wanna
got
say?
denied.
Blue, what did
Rip.
you want to say? He's gone. He left me.
What? I was just
No.
saying, is Fnatic really going to be that one of those top 2 teams next year though?
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Until
I actually think that
here's how I see it, man. Until I
think
see it. Until I see another team take their spot, I'm not gonna believe it. I know because everyone says this. It's like because you're predicting off rosters, but it's like I don't really look at things that way. It's like until I see it, you haven't done it though. You know what I mean? Fnatic has consistently been top or second place, and I think they got upgrades on their team actually.
I think if Fnatic doesn't beat G2 this year, that I don't think they will.
Just get out
I
of the
think
league.
Fnatic has the
Come to
boost.
NA.
I think that here's the thing. If and I mean this was a brilliant move on Carlos's part. I think that Carlos is probably one of the best GMs. I would put him up there with I would put them up there with like Rick Fox. I know what to mean, but Steve. And for the last one, I would say Jack. I think those are. I would say those are probably the best GMs.
I would say Sam Matthews is still a decent owner overall. He just hasn't gotten with the times, though. You know, I feel like Fnatic really could be good, though. He just
here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. As far as Carlos being like, I would put Carlos in like the top tier, like super top. And here's why: people were flaming the shit out of Carlos when he didn't let Perks go to Fnatic. And it was like, I'm over here looking at him like, it's literally the smartest move. Like, why the hell would you give your supposedly one of the best players on your team
at a discounted rate?
Team,
at a discounted rate too. At that point,
you're right.
Hey,
but this is
hey guys, can I get Perks on clearance?
That has a chance of beating you.
This is why. You actually hit exactly on the thing that I was hoping people would start to realize. This kind of fucking mentality of throw talent outside of EU or away from the other top teams is fucking strangling. Like,
I would say it's smart, but
it's smart, sure. Like, no denying that. It's brilliant, you know.
It's smart.
Who the fuck is going to challenge G2 or Fnatic now?
It's smart business wise. It's like I don't agree. Fnatic should have gotten Perks. Hey, can I get a clearance Perks? Hey, can I get that clearance Mickey? No, that's not how this works here. You know, let's be honest here. But in terms of EU having another team, I could throw a counter argument to that. So this is just general casual fans saying this, not personally me. May mix it a little bit. Isn't EU always said to have good rookies and good players overall? Right?
Yeah.
So at some point, all these players eventually are going to be on a team where they're going to potentially win off Fnatic or G2. In terms of players, I don't think there's a shortage of players. I think at the end of the day, there is another Caps or Perks out there. Wonder, Mickey X, Yankos, all that. But it just depends on finding them. And if EU is so brash about, we have all these rookies, blah, 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 developing, let's see them then. Let's see them play. Let's see them eventually come up. But that takes time in general. But in terms of the right now, because people have said, you know, but G2 and Fnatic aren't doing that because they've gone to a point they don't need to develop players. They're going to come regardless because of name, you know?
Right.
Other teams don't have that.
Isn't that the problem? Where the fuck are the EU rookies who are going to be taking over from these legacy players?
So
and actually, one of the major problems is many of them are actually in EU, unlike NA, the LEC, they don't have an academy. What they have instead is basically a bunch of regional. So it's basically like if every single state had their own academy team. It's basically if every single state had their own academy team, and then had their own league. I should say.
LLDC,
each state had their own league.
Masters,
and then at the end, the best team from every single state face each other. And so, but many of the best players are actually on what would be like the academy. So like Magic Felix is probably what would be considered one of the best, is considered probably the best up and coming, at least solo queue wise, mid laner in
Freeze
in like
Just kidding, just
EU,
kidding.
whatever.
Oh, God.
And
Freeze.
so he is on literally Fnatic. He's on the Fnatic like the sub like the
But now they
Fnatic
have
up like
Febiven, right?
rising roster.
Yeah.
They have Febiven now, don't they? So he's
Yeah.
on another team now.
But like
he left.
Mhm.
He left because
Yeah,
he like he
Febiven.
wanted to play.
Mhm.
But
True.
like that's my main problem is this format has created a phenomenal top 2 teams.
Mhm.
Like absolutely. EU is fucking scary as shit. But only from Fnatic and G2. And
Mhm.
every other team that I watch is just like where is
Mad Lions at World.
Oh my God, dude.
it's
I
depressing
predicted
actually.
that would happen.
And
Oh, yeah, so did I.
Really, really, really would prefer if the GM stopped starving and stopped using smart business practices
Mhm.
just to try and keep it
Dude,
so that
remember,
G2
Origin.
retains the top.
That's why I was so upset by the Worlds format last year. Why the hell is EU getting 4 spots
4 spots for
when
EU.
it's
Yeah.
only when like clearly like they talk
Only
about
2
like
teams.
well like when it's only really 2 teams, but not only that, like they're like, oh, the reason why is because
The recent
G2
international success,
because
yeah.
they got 2 they basically
one
the reason why
team.
was because they 2 teams basically is just Caps coming in second place 2 years in a row. That's literally the only reason.
One
And
team.
the region that has 4 trophies only got 3. The most dominant region in
Yeah.
LCS history didn't get basically got 3 when another region got 4. And the other thing is like if you look at the 2 EU teams that they basically got extra, one didn't even make it out of groups. The other got last place within their group against the team that the NA that against what was it called? Against a minor region.
Bro,
group.
they lost to
Yeah.
INTZ. They God, please. Mercy
Yeah.
on
No,
your
not
soul.
only that, they lost to Talent. They lost to Talon Gaming.
Oh my
which is the
PCS team?
it's the PCS. I watch PCS. Talon was actually really good. Same thing with Manchi. But like
Mhm.
even TL didn't do that bad. Even FlyQuest, who I almost wanted, like if I wasn't for my NA bias, I would have put FlyQuest under Unicorns of Love. But luckily I
did.
didn't. Luckily I didn't. But like
I'm
that's
not
my
gonna lie, I
point.
did that.
But that's my point. Like, despite our top 3 teams supposedly being worse than their top 3, we didn't lose to any minor region.
Except, well, because you can't. Yeah, PCS is a major region, quote unquote.
PCS is
Yeah.
PCS is minor still. It's technically
I
a
really
minor.
wanted OC to make it into groups.
yeah.
Bro,
No, it was-
Legacy Esports almost took a game off World Elite. No, sorry,
Yeah.
LGD. So I personally think for that
Yeah.
series, if they win that game without fucking actually throwing, dude, I don't know what they're just on crack the whole game throwing. That series, you might get a best of 5. You might get a best of 5 where maybe they almost win, but that's the point
That
of.
was
Right, go ahead.
that was our last decent game because now we're going to be the laughing stock because our league is destroyed. So they're going to be sending a random team every MSI and
Wait,
well,
who?
OC. They're just going to be sending some random
Bro,
team.
you're sending Mammoth? Oh God.
Wait,
Oh, dear
but no,
God.
but hasn't OC just been disbanded totally? Like, aren't they not
No,
part
we,
of the
we
MSI
sti-
anymore?
no, we still have an MSI in World Slot.
Wait, really?
At that point,
Yeah.
send the cheats with Swiper. God, dude.
It'll be funny.
Oh,
I want to
Lord.
see what ends up happening, but it's going to be a meme. Like that was our
Swiper,
last like
dude,
competitive chance to show
imagine
off,
Swiper
like,
at Worlds
that we aren't bad.
Imagine
Because now
Swiper
NA
at,
is just gonna steal all the good players.
imagine,
Yeah.
Imagine-
like Fudge.
Ima-
Fudge is the perfect example.
imagine
Fudge lost.
Swiper versus Khan. God, no, jeez, no, please, not that. Anything but
Oh,
that. But for EU, I think it all comes down to back to G2 being owned by Carlos. He changed things. He just changed how it's ran.
did.
But that,
Mhm.
like, it just felt like the other owners just got lazy. Like, every year it's the same concept. Like, yeah, we're going to change. We're going to change. We're going to win. We're going to change. Also, fun fact, the other third team that was consistently up there with G2 and Fnatic was Origin since 2019, right? Well, weren't those guys
Yeah,
all
they had like 2 or 3
those are all
second place
veterans.
finishes.
Those were all veterans. They're
Oh,
all
well,
veterans.
actually, so,
Alfari,
okay. So, no,
Xerxes, Nuke Duck.
So the reason why Origin fell
Duck.
is literally because Astralis bought them out. That's literally
Yeah.
like many people have said this. Like even Deficio said, like Deficio was basically the like Origin succeeding was almost entirely due to Deficio wanting it to succeed. As soon as Deficio wasn't in the driver's seat, and like Deficio was the heart and soul of Origin. As soon as like that you rip out the heart, it's dead.
Oh, sorry. I was tackling his point of, a third consistent team of Origin was superstar, former and current superstar veterans. Mithy, Patrick, Nuke Duck, Xerxes, Alfari. They got upset later on. It's like, it's never been a consistent third team. Yeah.
I think that this year is the last year, unless something massive fucking changes. And even now, I would honestly be fairly confident in saying this is the last year that without massive fucking changes, we see a insanely dominant Fnatic G2. And even then,
I would agree.
there's question marks. There's a lot of questions. You look at the rosters, anyone who says that C9 and TL, just based on roster strength alone, just outright loses to G2 and Fnatic,
No,
I would disagree.
no,
No.
it's fucking
Bro,
tight.
C9 couldn't even take down Team Vitality.
EU fans.
They couldn't even take down Vitality. We did
What
that
is it called?
we did that in 2018. What do you mean?
But dude, Vitality,
like-
Vitality have Maliksa now. Dude, he's the best mid laner on this planet. I'm telling you right now, he can play Azir pretty well. Just kidding.
let's even just look at this. Team Liquid, when they upgraded, grabbed Alfari Santorin. Santorin, we can argue until the end of town.
Being on the worst team in the LEC was rated the number 2 top laner or number 3.
Upset
number
had the
3.
highest stats
on the worst
on the last team too.
On the worst team, which means that let's say he was on the third best team. Who knows? He could have been the first. Like many people say, if he had a good team, he would probably be the number 1 top laner in the LEC.
The same with Upset
Now,
too.
let's compare this. Fnatic and G2 didn't change out their top laners, and we are looking at Bwepo and Wonder. Not to put any shade on either of them, but Alfari versus Bwepo and Wonder isn't a fucking wash by any stretch of the imagination. And it just continues on the way down. Selfmade versus Santorin. I mean, it depends if Santorin shows up or anything like that.
Let's just say Selfmade
and Caps versus, let's jump over to C9 versus Perks and Jensen.
Ooh, spicy.
Are we
Norway.
ever gonna say like Niski and Cap? Like, okay, Caps. Everyone's like, oh my god, Caps' dick. Like, Caps is the greatest player ever, and he'll literally elevate G2 to World 2021.
Perks is just as good as Caps. Perks is just as good as Caps.
Yeah.
No shit on Caps. He's a fucking amazing player. But like, I'm looking down these rosters for G2 versus like fucking
G2 is feast or famine. Like, and I actually think G2 is gonna be worse overall, and here's why. I think that the G2 style, which is the G2 style, is literally feast or famine. You have Caps, Wonder, Yankos, and X Mithy. I mean, not Mithy X.
Mithy X, yeah.
Yeah, Mithy X. All those players, like their whole thing is skirmishing. We're gonna pick you out. We're gonna fight you every chance that we can. Like when we know we're strong, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna make you not. We're gonna make sure that when we're ahead, we're just gonna leave. And then, but Reckless is like old school AD carry. His whole thing is
passive.
I'm gonna win lane. Well, like it's not only passive, but it's I'm gonna win lane. I'm gonna just be stable in lane, and I'm gonna scale to the late game where I know I will end up 1v5ing with 6 items. That is not how G2 plays. G2 plays
it's an insurance policy.
Well, this is the thing too. It's like I love G2. I mean, arguably we're gonna have G2 first place in most of our like EU like LEC.
I'm actually putting Fnatic first.
All right. Oh, I love you. Oh my god, I'm just kidding, dude. All right, so
and here's what. Well, we'll keep going into it like another time.
It's because in EU, specifically just EU for ADCs, you could argue there's better ADCs than Reckless, though. That's the problem, though.
Yep.
And let's be honest here, Jankos at the 2020 World Championship did not look good. If we're judging players after past tournament, Jankos, Caps, to a certain degree, Mickey was their best player. So basically,
Wonder
was by far their best.
Mickey
Wonder plays WoW more than he plays League.
and was still the best player on G2 at Worlds. So factor that in. It was like Mickey X, Caps, and Jankos, they all were shit in the bed at Worlds. Caps had the one good series, obviously, against Gen G. You know, outside of that, he played pretty poorly. Like, I don't like how people are saying it's just going to be a downright Fnatic are going to lose. No. Fnatic, I actually think, can beat G2 in a best of 5. You know, I don't have Caps' dick down my throat. I don't have Caps' dick down my throat and his balls hanging on my mouth. Dude, I'll have Caps' dick that far down my throat.
But even just like taking into account like all of the changes that have happened, NA has just been chasing like a fucking rabid dog after EU. There was a long time where, you know, it was the joke, and it was true. NA got dumped on by EU. It's been true for a very long time. The last few years, I mean, with Perks and Caps both on G2, yeah, they look pretty fucking untouchable. Like, just straight up. But Fnatic versus Team Liquid?
Hey, my boy.
That was getting really close.
Hey,
and now this year,
JJ versus Hylissang?
This year, fucking G2's like god tier GM, and don't get me wrong, he's fucking god tier. Brilliant. I agree with you. Brilliant fucking move. Don't sell your best player to another EU team. Fucking get him the fuck out of here. But you know what you just did? You just fucking gave a top tier mid laner. Yeah, and Mythy too. Over to NA. He's basically just been feeding for the past like few years EU talent that they realistically G2 just either couldn't afford or didn't want to face off against, and throwing them to NA to the point where NA is now looking really fucking scary.
We've just reached critical mass at this point.
Yeah, it's fucking and it blows my mind that everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's always going to be better than NA." Not if you keep fucking throwing all your best shit at us.
Yeah,
like what's next? Oh, you don't want to face off against Caps? Oh yeah, you're gonna throw fucking Caps at us? Oh sure. How about you send upgrade Niski and then fucking send Niski back?
Dude, I love Perks, but if C9 ever could get Caps, goodbye Perks. Just saying it.
Caps is
just
fucking
saying
god tier.
But imagine if I see your point.
I don't know. Actually, I think I might prefer the consistency of Perks.
Consistency.
Okay, here's the thing with Blabber. If they decide to keep Blabber, I would rather have. I think that
there's a lot of changes that can still be made.
I think that Blabber's going to be the weakest member on C9.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on.
No, probably.
This is not the C9 episode yet. That's
that's way later on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The entire point that people seem to be stuck on is G2 and Fnatic are EU. Yes. There is nothing else. And Fnatic and G2 no longer look untouchable. Not even by a long shot. As a matter of fact, I would be very confident saying.
Are you talking in terms of internationally or just in their own region?
Just in general.
Here's another thing. Especially at the world stage, I think that Riot gives more stake, at least for the English broadcast, to the EU casters' EU desk. And so because of that, like, this is not to flame the EU caster desk, the EU analyst, like that, but it's natural that your region, that like whoever you cast for, if you're part of the LEC as a analyst and caster, you're gonna be biased towards them. And so I think for like the past for the past 3 years, like since the LEC has been a thing, they've basically given it to the LEC, basically constantly handed over to the LEC. Like LEC handles the desk, LEC controls the desk, LEC controls like the main script, and this was especially this year, you could see the EU bias. You're like, oh, Mad Lions, they're so good. Oh
my god, fucking hilarious,
bro! Frosk and Dracos didn't know anything about Damwon. I almost damn near wanted to snap my neck. I was like, come on,
exactly.
No, that was so funny. They're like, oh, who's Damwon? What are they gonna do? It's like, oh,
they're gonna beat your face in.
And so like,
it wasn't that bad, but anyways,
really.
And then when they lose badly, they're like, oh, what, they just brush it off. But like, they always, like, one of the big things is that they constantly meme on NA, and it's like, well, if you look, besides for TSM this past Worlds, how bad did we really do? Like, we were one game away from knocking G2 out. We were one game away from beating either
Suni again.
Suni again,
yeah.
or look at Group D. FlyQuest almost made it out of groups.
Power of Evil, Flame Horizon, Chovy. Chovy was power ranked like the 5th best mid laner in the world.
Hell yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like...
No, finish.
That's
Sorry.
exactly the point. No, that's literally the point. We have, like... For me, I've been getting kind of sick of hearing the EU stuff, but you know what? If we were 3 years back, I can get it.
Oh, if you're 3 years back, I couldn't be on YouTube.
2 years back, it's like, you know what? I could still see it because at that point, the G2 effect hadn't really taken fully over, and there was still some competition.
But it still was Fnatic though. Like even EU's best years came
still
always from Fnatic.
Fnatic in G2, but it was like, you know, there were still other teams. If we go back to like,
I would say it's just Caps. If you look at EU as a whole, anytime they did anything internationally, it was because of Caps. Within like the past like 4
if you
years.
count but what about 2015 at the MSI and Worlds? They did do. I mean, I'm just saying like overall before G2 came in, it was always just Fnatic though. All the other EU teams were just basically a joke, except Origin came in with that little.
But here's the thing: there was always at least another 2 or 3 teams that, while they might not outright challenge Fnatic, they took games off them. And they made it competitive to the point where, you know, it wasn't just like, oh, is anyone going to beat Fnatic or G2? It was at least, you know, a question mark of, you know, who was going to take the top spots. It was probably going to be Fnatic. It was probably going to be them because they just looked so damn good. But at least the other teams kept it competitive. The last years have just been depressing.
Besides that one Origin split.
Besides that one Origin split, it has just been depressing to watch because nobody is challenging Fnatic or G2. It's any game that they lose is like
considered an upset
for
some reason. Yeah,
it's like a joke because they're like they play the most feast or fire like snowbally shit, and they manage to get a lead, which somehow works out in their favor. And it's just like, everyone's like, holy shit, like, we need to watch these guys. They might end up 4th. And it's like, oh, God. It's just been depressing. And I don't like that. I have been watching EU just steadily drop.
Remember how they were trying to convince that EU got, like, what would quote-unquote place because they lost to the best team? Like there was a thing going on that G2 was 3rd because they lost to Damwon, who came in 1st.
It's like they didn't lose. They literally just took it. They just were like, all right, future world champions, have fun. We're just going to mosey on out of here.
Like, Damwon, oh my God. Damwon embarrassed them.
And everyone memes about NA and TL lose fastest, best in international history, like when they lost to G2. And it's like, but now that EU now has the fastest time with the loss to Damwon at I think it was like 18 minutes.
Yeah, fucking speed run this shit.
Oh
my God.
That's faster than 90%. I have not had one.
Wait a minute. Also, there's another thing. Remember 2017 World Championship? Fnatic had a dancing Rift Herald because as long as you stopped them so hard, the Rift Herald was dancing. People just forgot that. They actually got shit stuff. And Khan picked Nasus. When do you know a top laner at Worlds is like, I'm going to pick Nasus and win? Nobody. Because
okay, to be fair, the Fnatic picked Mundo.
Maokai? They picked Maokai.
They picked Mundo. And Nasus is a hard counter to Mundo.
It's just like
they played it smart.
I agree with what you guys are saying. Like some of EU's biggest failures are less exacerbated than NA's bigger failures, right?
Exactly.
Okay. There's definitely bias in.
Well, it's not even that, but for example, you cannot go into conversation saying I'm from NA, and trying to shit talk, and not even shit talking EU, but just trying to create a valid reason why EU is not going to do well. You cannot say you're from NA because they're just anyone will be like, oh, you're from NA, what do you know? And it's NA and this is why I hope that that TL and C9 are going to perform extra well this year, because until NA, like I think that NA has extra, like it's kind of like you have extra to prove. You can't just do something. You have to go above and beyond for the same. So it's like, let's say G2 and C9 both make it out of groups, and let's say they both lose in quarterfinals. They'll still say that they'll like you have to basically, until like you prove NA as a region, we're gonna have to beat EU in quarters or in semis
Not just
to
that,
go
we
to
have to do
finals
it. We have to do it several
convincingly.
times.
And convincingly.
And convincingly. So like the only way that that people start taking NA seriously is if this year, and it would be great if it happens this year, but it probably won't happen this year. But anyways, is if MSI happens and NA, Team Liquid, and C9 knock out EU. If that happens, everyone will be like, oh shit. Okay, well, I mean, EU's still probably
NA wins
better.
Worlds.
Like Worlds
NA wins
buff,
Worlds.
whatever.
Imagine if Cloud9 with Perks go to MSI and win. Holy shit.
Dude, if
Perks
if
be a
they
back-to-back
won MSI,
versus
the
G2,
world would
Perks be a
fucking
back-to-back
explode.
MSI champion. That'd be the
Holy
littest shit
fuck.
ever. Imagine
if that-
Perks a back-to-back MSI champion. That'd be insane,
Dude,
man.
No,
The day
Perks
that happens,
leaves G2 and beats his former team.
dude,
that would be a dream come
if
true.
Cloud9 managed to beat G2 at MSI, we would have to do a stream like the next minute because the pop-off would be insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just if that happened, you wouldn't be able to get a stream up because there would literally just be like already 400 videos up of just people being like, NA is greater than EU, and all the EU fanboys just like the only. But then it comes back to MSI, you know, and Worlds and everything.
Yeah.
The only way I think we convince EU that they should stop throwing away their talent and actually start, you know, trying to strengthen the region rather than just focus on, because this is what they've done. They have focused entirely on having the best possible individual team. They have not focused on having the best region. The region as a whole has kind of shit the bed for the past few years, which really, really hurt me. And so hopefully this year or next year, if they get thoroughly and utterly fucked, like just absolutely reamed, and not just by China and Korea, but by everyone. If everyone is able to take a bite of G2 and Fnatic, we might finally see them just sit back and go, oh, okay, so maybe throwing away all of our best players to other regions just because we don't want to face them might not have been the best idea. Okay. Plan 2, let's maybe be okay with facing off against good players and not just shipping them out to NA/the Gulag.
The other thing that I find interesting is like, if you look at like what makes EU teams, specifically Fnatic and G2, good, they don't really have good, like you can like, and when I say team play, like they would I would not say that they're team centered. The same way that like Damwon, every single team that has won Worlds puts the team above the individual. It's like whole versus one. Whereas if you look at EU teams, it like their playstyle is literally feast or famine, but it's we're gonna get Caps completely fed out of his mind, and he's just gonna carry, or we're gonna get Wonder completely fed out of his mind, and Wonder's just gonna carry until like basically they're just gonna get one person fed, and that one person is just gonna do like assassinate
and then when
the
that
enemy.
one person doesn't, when that one person fucks up,
or not even, but like when the enemy team doesn't allow that one person to get fed, or like it's like, and you have like you have an even footing between, let's say, this team with 5 really good players and this team with 5 really good players. But like if you look at Damwon, like I wouldn't say that Damwon's players are actually way better than G2's. I would say like if you look matchup to matchup, they're actually kind of like about like you can make an argument for G2 having even footing. But the way that they fundamentally play the game is so completely different in that Damwon, not only can they play around anyone, but they're willing to play around anyone. They're willing to like mix it up like mid-match. Like they're willing to say, "Oh, I'm not gonna carry this one. here
no, like
all
G2,
G2 it's
fully
everything about
expected.
K.
Yeah, with G2, I can guarantee you, G2 did not expect Ghost to just dunk on them. Like
No.
they were coming in, and it's like the analyst, and I'm willing to bet G2 as well. We're just like, Ghost is the weakest player. We're gonna attack him, and guess what? That fucking failed. So when that failed, they were like, we'll
Also,
get Caps fed.
you had the
But then
issue.
Showmaker showed up.
Also, you had the issue of, Perks having the issues of Perks being ADC came true this year. They didn't come true last year because the meta fit him. In 2020, it was like, people knew that at the end of the day, he's not really an ADC. So it's like, if you face a better one, it's just going to be, it's one of those uneven matchups in general.
The whole thing with Perks ADC 2020, like, he was never really good. His strongest points are his knowledge of the game.
Oh my god,
He knew what to do. He knew, like, he was basically one of the main shot callers, like, in and out of game for G2. Like, he was he was G2's mentality.
Best
Without
ADC
him,
in the world was Perks. I was like, please stop. Just stop.
Actually, no, that is true.
What? No,
2019, Perks was the best ADC.
At just the one world.
I will agree, simply because that was the year that mages were really.
Dude, he was not. Was he?
Well.
Dude, was he better? I don't know, man. Was he better than Uzi?
The other reason why
he wasn't better than Teddy or Uzi, though.
Well, no. Here's why I would say this is because not only was he role swap, so this wasn't a role, but he literally introduced mages to them. He was like his best champ wasn't even mage. His best champ was Xayah, which is a normal ADC. So he literally changed up bot lane for what it is known today. Like, the reason why we have things like Swain bot is because that's a normal thing, and why people should be playing more of Swain bot is because of Perks. Like, without Perks, we probably would have still had the most stagnant, like, just scale up till whatever. Like, Perks was revolutionary. Right, the Uzi.
I wouldn't even say that he was like the first, but he's
the most revolutionary.
He proved that it worked
on, but it wasn't a meta that favored
high
that
level.
Though. But this is a patch that favored doing that.
Sure, but our point is basically, Perks might not have been the best traditional ADC. I would still say Reckless is still EU's best traditional ADC.
Same.
It's hard to put a caveat on that, or to disagree with that or deny Reckless, but in terms of what Perks accomplished and what he was able to do in the ADC role, and why people are willing to just grab him and throw him in the mid lane, I think people would have been willing to grab him and throw him in the mid lane even without the role swap that had been happening with G2. Even without that meme, it's
Perks. I would say Perks is if we say like Bjergsen is the GOAT for NA, or Double F is the GOAT for NA, Perks is the GOAT for EU, and here's why. When Perks went mid lane, when Perks went bot lane so that they could get caps, Perks did so well. Then when they switched, not only did he go from playing mid to ADC back to mid, he was just as strong mid as he was ADC that last patch. Whereas Caps wasn't. And then he went right back to ADC and just did as well. He double role swapped twice and did not lose anything in terms of his skill level.
Overall, we had a pretty good episode here. I do gotta head out. I have to get ready for my other stream in about an hour, actually. Yeah. If you guys want to follow my main channel, obviously it's in the link in the description box below of this channel. Yeah. I am streaming later on tonight on my main channel if you guys want to, have something to listen to at work. Or if you're
fucking haze you so hard.
What is it? What's the main channel?
My main channel, it's in the description box below of every single video here.
I don't watch any of your videos.
If you're in the Midwest, be careful, it's about to snow.
Blue, you've been quiet for... sorry, Blue, you've been quiet for a little bit. What did you want to say on the things that we were talking about for G2?
I don't really have any thoughts on G2, honestly.
I
don't follow LEC. I don't follow LEC as strongly as
Yo, dude, what do you what region do you follow?
Which LPL and LCK?
I gotta know this. LPL?
LPL, LCK.
All right, next one I'm gonna have a shit ton of questions.
All right, so Damwon is gonna be the best team over T1, right?
Apparently T1 is Scrim Gods right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're golden glues.
Domination.
They're golden glues.
We're at it. That before.
No, dude.
We could just see T1 dominate Kesper Cup. It's gonna happen.
Dude,
Carrier,
he's
T1
right.
Carrier,
T1 Carrier, dude,
is
they got a
overpowered.
big, dude, they got a big upgrade in their support position. Oh my god, he's gonna
Yeah.
be smurfing on these kids. Even if Teddy fails, it doesn't fucking matter. You have Gumayashi, he's also pretty good. So it's like
Yep.
they don't
He's
they don't,
also pretty good.
they don't lose. They don't lose at anything.
They don't lose.
But it's
They
like
don't lose.
damn one. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Jungle's their only weak point.
Is
God.
Khan like that much of a downgrade from Naguri? Not really. You're going from what, a 10,
Not in my
9 to maybe
opinion.
like to like a 7.
What team is what team is Naguri on now?
He's on FPX, right?
Yeah. He's an
Naguri
FPX.
went to
Yeah.
Fun plus.
LPL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They sent.
I actually think Naguri's a hard. I would take Naguri 9 times out of 10 over Khan.
But that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out? EU sucks.
No, we'll save it next time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. C9 are gonna
More
smurf
hot
on
topics.
Yeah, C9 are gonna smurf on all these kids. EU got lucky. Half of their runs anyway. 2016, EU got lucky. Let's be honest here. Yeah, if your biggest accomplishment in 2016 is I beat Albus Nox Luna, all right, you can stop talking to me.
All right. Also, you guys heard here first. We will be playing on CLG next year. Because their team is
Give
doing
Rookie
that.
Talent a chance.
If we're their
Yeah,
starting
All those
roster,
fucking plat boys.
dude, I can play a
Alright.
patented Yorick. I can play Yorick, man. It
All right,
will
I got
win.
the jungle.
I got support. I can play Seraphine.
Blue,
Alright.
what do you got?
Well.
Blue, you can be our shot caller because you're like the most level-headed guy, and you can yell at us. When you can be like Bjergsen. Hey guys, dude, you can literally be the Bjergsen and sit with our girlfriends, just own the org, talk to our owner.
Is that what Bjergsen did?
Oh my god! All right, so we'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all,
Yo,
enjoy.
it's
We're
the
signing out,
Nightwing.
guys.
Hopefully
Peace.
you guys
Have a
enjoyed
good
the
day.
video
Go watch
that
some
you
porn.
guys just watched.
Oh.
And if you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. And if you never want to miss out on a single upload, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I post a video. Thank you guys for the continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.